containment figures are the numbers that people are looking out at all the time. And when you hear that a fire might be 15% contained, well, that means that around the circumference of the fire, there's a barrier that's been, perhaps they've had bulldozers in, they've laid fire-retarding chemicals, and they are confident that the fire won't progress further. Even if the firefighters went away from that area, they'd be confident that the fire itself wouldn't spread further. So when you hear 15, maybe 50% containment, it gives some optimism that they are getting control of the situation. But complicated because, yes, occasionally the firefighters might let a fire burn if they are confident it's burning away from people's homes and there's no one in any danger. So you might see the flames. The pictures might be very dramatic. You might see flames engulfing an area, usually on a hillside, but they are being left to burn because at least if it's burnt, it can't ignite again and potentially cause embers that will fly into other areas and start new fires. So there's a lot of science that goes into fighting these fires, and the firefighters in Los Angeles, indeed in California, are very well experienced, probably the most experienced, amongst the most experienced in the world at fighting these fires, and they really know what they're doing. So the science that goes into it can be baffling sometimes to the rest of us just looking at the pictures, but there is a method to this.
And Peter, clearly we've heard a lot about the celebrities who've been affected in these areas, but tell us about those who haven't got that kind of money, who can't just go and stay in a hotel or who haven't got another home to go to. What's happening with them?
Yeah, and it's a good point that clearly fire doesn't discriminate. Rich, poor, famous, or an ordinary mortal. These fires are affecting everyone. And there's some mixed communities in terms of the type of housing that people live in, people in apartments, people in condos, in houses, alongside, yes, the wealthier communities as well, like Pacific Palisades. And people are left sometimes just with the clothes on their back when they are forced to evacuate and then tragically find that their home has been destroyed. So they're being supplied with clothes. People are coming out and donating in huge numbers across Los Angeles, providing a bed and a roof. I know that the gyms across the city have opened their doors so that people can go in and get a shower. These very basic things that you might not initially think about, but it's just everyday living that people are concerned about now, just getting through to the next day, while at the same time, hopefully they've still got a mobile phone with them, trying to contact people, relatives, and the authorities, their insurance companies, to try to get through the process of rebuilding their lives, knowing that they've got a home to rebuild, and trying to navigate all of those complexities while just getting on with providing themselves with food and shelter. And that's where, and a lot of people have been very gratified to see how this city is pulled together. People have been coming out in large numbers to offer any assistance that they can.
Hello, I'm Lauren Taylor. 4 wildfires are still raging in parts of Los Angeles, destroying huge swathes of the city. The number of people killed has risen to 16, and at least a dozen are missing after 5 days of fires. The neighbourhood of Altadena is near the Eaton fire, the second biggest fire, which has burnt more than 14,000 acres. Before we hear from Helena Humphreys from there, just want to bring you the live shot on the coast there, which shows you the scale of the devastation from these fires, which have burnt from inland all the way to the Pacific coast. One bit of good news as we speak is that the Kenneth fire, which was admittedly one of the smaller ones, but it does still cover around 1,000 acres, has been 100% contained according to the fire department in California. That means the fire's still burning, but they've managed to put a ring around it of fire retardant and other methods which mean that it shouldn't spread any further. Meanwhile, those 3 other currently burning are the Palisades fire, the Eaton fire, and the Hearst fire. And they're also expecting some more strong Santa Ana winds this afternoon. Let's hear now from my colleague Helena Humphrey on what she's found.
With so many communities destroyed and evacuation orders